What's up? How you guys doing out there? Just out here enjoying the nature, man. You gotta get out in nature. It's so good for your brain. It's so good for everything. But all right. Oh yeah. Welcome to Consuming Better Days tip of the day. All right. And the tip of the day for today is be present. All right. And this one, it's like it's really deep, but it seems really simple. But it's actually very hard to do. Everybody assumes that they're present, but most people are actually never really present. You know, your ego, which is where your identity comes from, never wants to just be present and never just observe everything around it. It never wants to observe how it's feeling. You know, it wants to think of things that it's done in the past or things that it's going to do in the future, things that are going to boost your identity. So it's like, and that's a trap, to live in the past or live in the future. Like in the present moment, you know, the present moment is the gift of life. It's literally the present of life. You know, whenever we're living in the past, you know, that can cause depression a lot of times. Whenever we're living in the future, that can cause anxiety a lot of the times. In the present, none of that exists. I mean, if you're not worried about the past, you have no depression. If you're not worried about the future, you have no anxiety. You just need to be grateful. You know, like us this morning, man, I'm just so grateful just to wake up. Like, that's just so underrated. Everybody just assumes, well, of course I'm gonna wake up. I wake up every day, but I mean, that's not promised. There's a lot of people that didn't wake up this morning. So you always just have to take every day as a gift and just try to be in that day and be grateful for it. And don't be stuck thinking about things you should have done different in the past, or stuck thinking about things you're gonna do in the future. And it's an easy trap to fall into. I mean, I feel like I was living in the future for a long time. You know, I was always thinking, when I get to this next point, you know, this is when I'll be happy. This is whenever I'll be able to do this thing I want to do. And it's like, you have to realize all that is in you right now. You know, everything you want to do, even if it's just an idea, it's in you now. You know, and you just have to just keep working on it and just keep, you know, bring whatever you want into the present moment. And you know, especially being, I mean, it's present moment is where you want to be, but especially if you're living in the past, you know, you're gonna fall behind. You're gonna stop doing well in life if you stick to the past. And if you stick to the future, you may be successful, but it's never gonna make you happy, because guess what? Whenever you get to that future thing, by that time you've got more things that you want to get to. So it's like, I look at it kind of like this, you know, it's like, you know, you got the donkey on the treadmill or whatever with the carrot in front of it. That's people trying to get to the future. You know, you're constantly on that move, and you know, you may be making progress, but there's always going to be a new object of your attention that you're trying to get to where you're like, well, I need to get this done and I need to get that done, and you can never appreciate the things that you've already done or where you've already made it. And in the past, that's like you got the carrot behind you and you just walked off the treadmill. Like, you know, there's this guy I listen to. I get a lot of wisdom from this guy. Check him out. But the YouTube channel is called Meditation Steps. And there's a guy on there, Dada, and he gave like a brilliant analogy of life as being like a treadmill. And he's like, it's moving. You know, a lot of people want to stay still and just, you know, let things stagnate, but it's impossible. I mean, the world is changing every day. It's impossible to stay still. If you try to stay still, you're going to fall off the treadmill. You know, and if you want to get ahead, you have to do more than what you've been doing. You have to, you know, because it's moving anyways. So, I mean, to me, that was just an amazing analogy, because I never thought of it like that. I was like, I mean, you're right. You can't you have to be progressing. It's like if you stand still, you're not gonna feel good, because for one, your spirit seeks growth. It seeks that change. So being resistant to change and being resistant to growth, you're gonna get farther and farther off your path, because you were meant to grow. You know, just like I was, just like everything is. Just like, I mean, you don't see none of these plants out here, none of these trees are sitting still. They're all growing, even if it's just a little bit by little bit, you know. And be patient with your growth. I mean, a lot of times it may seem like you're not growing fast enough, but you know, that's just your path. You know, sometimes things that take the longest to grow are actually the strongest, because they have, you know, they got deeper roots. So, you know, just keep that in mind as well. And, you know, like I said, just be grateful, you know. Get out, you know, and just thank the universe you're here. You know, be grateful that you can breathe. I mean, we have all these faculties that's our real gift. I mean, like, just, even if you're just quiet for a minute, you can just hear everything, just all the crickets and everything. I mean, you get to see all these beautiful colors, you get to feel the air. I mean, all these things are things that we can tap into. And whenever you're focused on the past or the future, you kind of fall out of that and you're stuck in your head. And it's really not the real world. So that's the tip of the day. Be present. I love all y'all guys. Have a good one.